Hello everyone and welcome to 2020 Leadership Group's Rainmaking Academy office hours. Rainmaking Academy is an online and on-demand business development training and coaching program specifically designed for professionals who are ready to become powerhouse rainmakers and build their portable books of business. The Rainmaking Academy lets you learn every key rainmaking skill on your own schedule, anytime and anywhere, even if you have zero marketing, sales, or business experience. Led by business development coaches and creators of the Rainmaking Academy, Yuliya, LaRoe, and Marla Grant, Rainmaking Academy office hours are created from questions posed by the Academy members and answered live during the program's monthly group coaching calls. And now, let's hear today's question.
Let's see, we have another one here. I do a variety of different things in my practice, and I'm not sure how to best introduce myself. I don't want to sound too generic, but I don't really know how to cover it all in a short introduction. Yeah, so that's another great one. So we're actually going to spend a little bit of time on this question because, and for those of you in the Rainmaking Academy who haven't really gotten to this topic yet, it's covered in Module 3, so we'll get to that. But it is a challenge for a lot of people. So this is a really good issue to cover, even though for some of you guys this might be jumping a little bit ahead. So the first thing that you want to think about when it comes to these professional introductions is, well, what's your goal? Okay? Oftentimes professionals get caught into wanting to convey the breadth of everything they do, all the experiences, all the different things they do, the different types of practices or clients they serve. And if we take a step back and look at where that desire comes from, well, frankly, it comes from fear. It's that fear of missing out, FOMO. Right? It's almost like this thought that's in the back of our minds that says, well, what if the person I'm speaking with might be interested in that 10th thing that I do, and if I don't mention it to them, then I might lose out on an opportunity. I mean, yeah, it makes sense, or it makes sense, but when you think about the logic, you kind of end up being sort of, when you present this long laundry list, you're kind of all over the place, and frankly, the message becomes watered down, and sometimes it can even bore people. Yeah, and you're certainly not going to be like top of mind to somebody when it seems like you're, kind of a jack of all trades. Exactly, yeah. So that's why, you don't want to be too generic, right? You can't stand out when you're generic. You can't sort of be everything to everyone. You don't want to confuse people. So that's why we strongly advocate that before you really go into and work on your introduction, you want to take a really good look at your client base or your practice area and ask yourself, what do you want this client base to be? What do you want to focus on? This is the stuff that we really get, deep into Module 2. And so, which is, for most of you, if you haven't got through it, this will be the next thing that you'll do. And we recommend that you really spend, good amount of time and give your best effort, because this is your foundation. I mean, everything starts from your knowledge of who your people are, basically, right? So who's your target, who are you serving, who are you helping, from your networking to your, marketing and distinguishing yourself in the community, to how you do the sales conversations and pitches. Everything depends on who these people are and knowing your niche and your target. And talk about, being efficient and saving time. Module 2 takes time now to do, but that's going to be the biggest time saver for you from business development, because you stop spinning your wheels. This is how you become so much more strategic and so much more efficient and effective with your time. Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. And so this kind of, well, actually, we'll demonstrate, I guess. Let's demonstrate. Let's do a little demonstration. So, for example, if okay, we came across on an attorney's profile, and this literally could be any attorney out there. There's so many that sound exactly the same, but this attorney's profile on the firm's page, and a shareholder at the firm who focuses her practice on complex commercial litigation, has represented clients of all types in an array of complex matters, and prosecuted and defended disputes in state and federal courts in a wide variety of legal areas, including breach of contract claims. I mean, wow, right?
Wow.
So what does it tell us? Maybe that she goes to court, right? We know that. There's something about commercials, so maybe it's business related, and they're sure complex, and there's wide variety, and she's done it all, right? So on the one hand, it might seem like, okay, that sounds like I have a lot of experience, but it tells us absolutely nothing. So if I have a prospective client, I don't know if this applies to me. Are you big business, small business? Are you in a specific industry?
What types of issues? What kinds of problems? What's really the expertise? What's their specialty?
Yeah. And what's complex?
So overly broad and vague. Yes, definitely.
So as kind of a parallel to that, we'll share another example.
Yeah, one of our clients, so she used to introduce herself as a healthcare lawyer. And, healthcare lawyers, they can do a number of very, very different things, from representing hospitals to healthcare providers to nursing homes in a slew of different types of issues. It could involve compliance work. It could involve peer review proceedings. The list goes on and on. So, contrast just healthcare law attorney, which is vague and certainly is not going to evoke anything in your mind if you're talking or networking with this person. It's not going to give you a clear idea of who this person's ideal prospective clients are. But if you contrast that to, her introducing herself as, for example, an attorney specializing in putting together employment agreements for physicians at hospitals and who handles landlord-tenant disputes on behalf of hospitals, does that give you a bit of a clearer idea maybe of who she helps and how?
Mm-hmm.
Or, maybe there's another healthcare lawyer who specializes in helping physicians and nurses essentially save their professional licenses from being suspended or revoked when the Department of Health files complaints against their licenses. Again, the idea is when you're doing networking, you want people to be thinking of, oh, when I hear of somebody with this specific issue, I know somebody who does precisely that. And when we hear professionals like attorneys, for example, and other professionals do this too, where they just say that they do, real estate, they do litigation, they do
estate planning.
Estate planning, right. It stays very general and broad where you're not really top of mind to anyone for anything in particular.
Yeah, so I'm guessing, Marla, our short answer to this question is don't do it. Don't try to introduce yourself, all of the areas of practice that you do or all of the types of things that you do because that's not effective. I mean, here, and this is why we created Rainmaking Academy in the first place, is that we want to share and make these best practices, things that are effective, things that are strategic, that are going to stop you from spinning your wheels and wasting your time. So it is not the easiest one to sort of get past, right? So professionals have struggled with this one, we see it every day. But it's a huge one. Once you kind of get over the hurdle of FOMO, fear of missing out, it's actually quite liberating. And as we said, a lot more effective. So hopefully that helps. And be sure that you watch the videos and do the exercises in module 2, and then join us on our next call, and then we'll talk through that some more.
Yeah, and if you ever are working through that and want to brainstorm with us how you can refine it further, or, bat around some ideas, we are that sounding board for you. So again, as a reminder, feel free to bring that up to us. So that is going to make a big difference. And the other thing we'll add to that is just be open to just doing it it's an evolution, right? So you may not get it perfect or ever or around the first time, and that's fine. It doesn't have to be perfect, but start whittling it down so that you can start getting clearer and clearer on a more sub-specific category, so to speak, of people that you help and how. And then over time, it may evolve and refine, I'm sure, as you continue to become more effective with your business development efforts. So that kind of takes some of the pressure off of it having to be perfect from the get-go.
Yeah, agreed.
Well, that's it for today. Thank you for tuning in. If you're a professional who is looking to build or grow their book of business, check out www.rainmakingacademy.com to see how we can help you do just that. Until next time.